featuring Professor Ken and Reek in the Lion's Den.
Let's dive into a topic that I think most don't understand, the breakdown of how, the behind the scenes of how movies get put together and who puts the storylines together and how that all comes about, especially with you being in movies that are cult classics. How does that go down? Like, who does the picking? We all know certain producers that produced it, but how did it come to be what it is known today? The backstory, should I say?
Well, the backstory behind the project we did with HBO was that, I went to Chicago to the Players Bar. It was called Brothers Lounge on the west side. So when I was on the west side, I was just being me. I didn't know that talking slick was marketable. I didn't know that wearing $1,000 suits was like a big deal because I wore them every day. I didn't know that having a $25,000 mink on or $100,000 Rolex was a big deal because it was something I did for so many years that it just, I'm coming in there. I ain't like, I'm finna shit on these niggas. I'm coming in there like, as me. So that year was fun. That was in 95. Then 96, we go back to Chicago to the east of the Rhine. Bishop Don Juan, Seymour, they invited us. We go in the place and I see these cameras. And I'm like, wow, this is a change. We went from like little camcorders to big real cameras. So I was like, who are these people? And I was like, who you with, man? He said, I'm with HBO and blah, blah, blah. Bishop got us here, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, well, look here, man. I said, get that camera on my face, And then everybody was like, yeah, man, talk to Ken. So, I got a little tipsy. At the time I was drinking, so I got to pop it slick. But I'm popping slick, with some players. And they just letting the cameras roll. And so dude was like, man, are we going to be able to use this? I said, listen, man, you take my car, come to Milwaukee, and let me talk to you there. We had discussed this there. I don't want to be filmed, unless I'm getting paid. So they came to Milwaukee. And when they came to Milwaukee, we sitting there, and I'm downtown. I had a clothing store downtown Milwaukee. So they come up upstairs in my office, my lawyer's office, so blocked down. So I called my lawyer, we sat down. They said, well, look, man, we trying to do this documentary, man. Tracy, man, from Vibe Magazine, which is Bert's cousin, man. He said we can come to the party and blah, blah, blah. We can capture this moment, man. This is some culture stuff. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, check this out, man. This is what I need. I need the movie to end with me. I said, I need to be able to shoot my own movie. I want credits in the film. I need, 80 bands. I need 100,000. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, wow. So we came up with a figure, which was close. You know what I'm saying? And once we locked the deal, then I took over the project. Then I started bringing in Big Lex. I brought in all the celebrities because they didn't know all those people. The behind the scene is that most of the people that you see in that movie, I put together. Except for the Chicago clique. That Players Ball, where you see Scorpio win that trophy, that's in my hometown. That's in Milwaukee. That was at Serve Hall. That was my party. Not only did HBO pay for the party, not only did HBO pay for the food, not only did HBO pay for the limos, but they gave me all the money from the party. That was the back channel things we were doing. I was looking at these people as a $1 billion company. I said, it's a $1 billion company. They're not going to come in the hood and become culture vultures. They're not going to come and pimp me. And people thought that I was being slick and manipulative. I was like, they being slick and manipulative. They trying to pimp me. So instead, I ended up pimping them. You know what I mean? And charging them from everything. I charged them for toilet paper, man. I charged them for everybody that you see on that film. I made them pay me. Literally made them pay me. All the big parties and stuff, the limos, I made them pay for all of that. You know what I mean? Then I ended up charging for the party, getting the money for the party. So most of those parties you see in there, most of those scenes, a lot of those scenes, that Vegas party, that was my party. Okay. I got the money from that party. That was the international Players Ball. I helped them. All the players that came to that party, those were friends of mine from New York and California and Seattle and Phoenix and, all over the world. Atlanta, Milwaukee, Chicago. They flew all in. Cleveland, good game. Detroit, they all came to kick it with me. I helped them organize and put that whole thing together. And we did so well with that the Hughes brothers called me. Okay. So when the Hughes brothers called me, they wanted to do the same thing. So I said, look, I got a guy He's on the uprise. He's a young dude out of Neil. He got like 15 bras. He's 15 deep. He's doing well. They said, what's his name? I said, guy by the name of Pimp Snooki. I said, but y'all got to pay me. And I said, y'all also got to pay for my party. So we went downtown to the convention center, hooked up with Ticketmaster, sold all the tickets to Ticketmaster, and then that scene you see at the Players Ball in American Pimp,
yeah,
that's my party. That's my party. So, I was conducting business. So I was always conducting business. And, I was also cognizant of the fact that if this go well, then, it's gonna give me a footnote into the entertainment business. So my objective was to film my movie, and I wanted to get celebrities to be in my movie. That's why my first movie, PHARAOHS, you see, I got Baby, I got Juvenile, I got 8-Ball MJG, I got Too Short, I got so many celebrities in that first movie, and that was all paid for and financed by myself. So I picked the people in the video because I was trying to, at that time, build my brand and associating my brand with name famous people like Too Short, 8-Ball MJG, and Juvenile. Juvenile at the time had an album called 400 Degrees, where it sold almost 5 million. He was the hottest thing in the country. So I had Biz Marquis. I had a lot of people in there. Good gang. I had All Bishop, the whole player world. I had through my same party that the Hughes brothers had. I put my party in that movies too. You know what I'm saying? So I was just peeping what they was doing and how they was putting the movies together. And I was basically imitating them. And, I ended up making more money than them because, of course, PHARAOHS sold millions of copies. And I had 3 distributions for the same movie. And it was all on BET. Anybody who can remember back then, remember that I had national commercials running 3 or 4 times a night. 3 or 4 times a night on BET. I mean, it was just the things that we were doing. People always give other moguls credit, but they don't never give me credit for being a mogul. You know what I'm saying? I was doing real business, you know what I'm saying? And negotiating real contracts. What people never really noted because they always looked at that title, the PI, and they said, oh, well, he can't possibly be a businessman. He can't be a BI, you know what I'm saying, B? But I was a BI more so than I was a PI. You know what I'm saying, B? That's why, I ended up leaving the game after that movie came out and started marketing and selling myself. And then, a lot of the things that you say, well, how did the movies get made? Well, a lot of those rappers start calling me. Nelly called me. We did Pimp Juice, Hot in Here. And then the other guy called me, 50 Cent. We did, PIMP video with 50 Cent. And then Too Short called me. We did Chase the Cat, and What's My Favorite Word. Me and Mac 10 did 3 songs together. Me and Pastor Troy did 3 songs together. Of course, me and Pimp C did 5 albums together. So a lot of these guys, we had developed relationships, so they end up being in my movie. So I said, well, I got this relationship. I'm doing all these deals with them. I'm getting on their albums. I'm, signing contracts with their record labels, to appear on their albums. I said, when I get my next project, or my next couple projects, I'm going to put them in there. So that's how Pimp C and all them, Jeezy and T.I., all them ended up in my movie because I was doing stuff for, different artists. And then when it came time for me to do business with them, me to get a favor, they end up in my movie. That's why you see 50 Cent in my movie. That's why 50 Cent did a commercial for me for BET because, we had what we call a barter system. I get on your album, you keep that 10,000, you come get on my DVD or you get in my movie. I had an album too called Boss Pimps. A lot of them guys was on that album, so it was like a barter system. We was working with each other, and a lot of times, people will look at the culture and that's how you get picked, and that's how I got on a lot of videos because at that time, the game was on the rise and everybody was talking about pimping, so Lil Jon, I've been in like 3 videos. I was in From the Wall to the Window video. I was in the PIMP video. I was in, Pimp C and Outkast video, So Fresh and So Clean. You just look through all the videos. You just go on YouTube. You'll see. At one time, I was in Cuckoo Cow video in my project. At one time, it was 3 videos on the top 10. And I was in all 3 of those videos. That's how hot I was at that time. You know, I did over 40 million records, Reek. You know, I mean, I was like, you know, me and Lil Jon did 8 million, you know, Crunk Juice. You know, we did that song. It was a song called Stacks, Tracks, and Contracts. And then another one we did, Bitch, you know, and it was called Bitch Niggas. You know, we did that one. And Being Too Short, we did What's My Favorite Word. We did Chase the Cat. You know, me and Jermaine Dupri, at that time, he was the biggest artist in Atlanta. We did one called Money, Hoes, and Power. Me and Pimp C did numerous. The last one we did was Two Kind of Bitches. You know, and these were all classics. You know, all these albums went platinum. You know, me and Lil Flip did a video called This Is the Way We Ball. You know what I'm saying? We did several mixtapes. Me and 50 Cent did a whole mixtape called Sabrina Baby Boy. You know what I mean? I kind of popped a lot of slick shit on there. You go get that. That's on the internet.
Yeah, I seen you in the E40 That's Your Life video.
Oh yeah, E40 That's Your Life. You know, I did like 3-4 songs for E40. You know what I'm saying? I can even tell you, you know, a lot of stuff about E40. E40 a real dude, man. You know, I did a movie with him. I think it's called Earl. We did a real movie with him. I did a couple movies. You know, I was in a couple movies. You know what I mean? I hosted millions of parties. You know what I mean? I did many intros and outros. You know, so, I mean, when we pick people in the movie, it's based on my relationship, you know. Like I would throw a party in Milwaukee. I throw a party in Milwaukee at the Park Bar. You know, if people got my movie together, actually they could see it. And at this party, man, the club hold about 2,000 people. We had 20,000 people at the party. The fire marshal, the whole street was blocked with people. But look who we brought. We brought Loon. At that time, he had I Need a Girl. It was the #1 song. I had David Vander, Like a Pimp. He was the #1 artist out. We had Bun B. We had Too Short. I had not Too Short, but Trillville. You know, Gangsta Boo. I mean, Little Duval. I mean, it was like one of the biggest parties ever. You know, and then those guys, you know, because they was there, they ended up in my movie. You know, I had access to them. You know, so they ended up in my movie. You know, was able to film now for that project. You know, a lot of basketball players, Tim Thomas, you know, Sam Cassell, you know, they ended up in my movie because they were friends of mine. You know, so a lot of people, when you see them in my movie, they friends of mine. You know, most of the people you see, they're street people in my movie, they're people that I grew up with. And, you know, I've been trying to put them on. You know, I had some guys, you know, I was working with at the time who was trying to be artists. You know, I had them in there because I was trying to market and promote them, you know, take them to the next level, you know. So most people that end up in my projects are primarily people, you know, that may already be famous, and I may use them, you know, what we call back in the day fan jackets, to jack some of their fans, you know, to get some fan action from them, you know, hopefully their fans will tune in, right. You know, but today, when I do a movie, it's more social consciousness, you know what I'm saying, because like when we did this movie, it was based on the movie, like I you know, it's not just friends no more. A lot of these people, you know, they friends, but they not just friends. Like the movie we're doing with Criminal Justice, I got Rick Ross because he did 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Right. I got Tariq Nasheed because he's a leading brother in the conscious community, and he talk about criminal justice. I got Judge Joe Brown because he's a celebrity judge, and he was talking about the criminal justice system. You know, we got Jamelia Davis because, you know, she was a female and she represented that. Then we got the other chick, you know, that was on American Gangster. We got her too. You know, we had Ice-T because he played a cop on TV. And he was giving us the cop perspective. You know what I'm saying? How they teach them, you know, law enforcement on Law and Order. You know, so that's how Ice-T got on. Then Professor Griff, you know, he's Public Enemy. He's conscious too. You know, so a lot of the people that I got in my movie, you know, at that because it fit the narrative. You know, Corey Wise, he in there because he did a lot of time. Then when I go into my other movie, it's called basically From Rags to Riches. Now it's about me going from the streets to being corporate. So I got corporate people in there. You know, I got Eric Mills, PHARAOHS, who's the second car inventor, you know what I'm saying, in 100 years. You know, he's a billionaire. You know, we're working on Byron Allen, we're working on Bob Johnson. You know, we got, you know, people who are millionaires. We got Tony Mercedes. You know, we got Ice-T again, because, you know, he got an interesting story. You know, we got Tariq Nasheed again. We got my man out of Atlanta, James Hunt, you know, who's a multimillionaire. So this is about millionaires, you know, and it's about me going from being, you know, in the streets to actually being in corporate America doing multi-million-dollar deals. So, you know what I mean? It's all based on the storyline, who we get. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't just me picking random people. Like I said, when I first started, I needed celebrities, you know, and I felt that I can use their fan base in order to sell more movies. And, of course, they were all celebrities that I was friends with. You know, so that was my initial reason for doing HBO. The backseat behind that was I was able to out-manipulate them. They tried to manipulate me, and I manipulated them. And I ended up outsmarting them, and they couldn't understand how a little dude from Milwaukee, you know, from the east side, you know, that had not just got out of prison so long, how could he be so smart? How could he get us to spend? I mean, if you look at it all together, I may have got about $500,000. If you look at all the parties, all the flights, you know, all the people that they paid to be in there, all the money that I brought to other people's pocket, I got HBO for at least $500,000 easily. You know, Hughes Brothers, they didn't give me that much money, but it was still, you know, good for my brand at the time, you know, because I ended up in a movie that Too Short and Bishop and all that was in. So, you know, I could have easily been excluded, but, you know, they paid me to be in there. They paid me to film my party. So, you know, to me, you know, from a business standpoint, I felt good about myself. I was like, well, you know, I made a business transaction with these people, you know, and that's one of the key things with me when I'm doing business, to make sure, you know, that I'm on the upside of the deal.
But that's why I wanted to do the backstory of it so much, because you figure, you know, you were known as Pimpin' Ken in Pimps Up, Hoes Down, but if a lot of people pay attention, they know you as Pimpin' Ken, they know you as Professor Ken, but when they see you in American Pimp, it's Mr. Ivy. So it's like, well, wait, why is it titled like this, you know?
Because I wasn't never Pimpin' Ken.
Okay.
You know, I was never Pimpin' Ken. You know, I was always Ken Ivy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think they did that on purpose because, you know, the way I handled them people, man, it was so professional. I got so much money from them people, Reek. It was pathetic. You know, I charged them for everything. You know, if I drunk Kool-Aid, I charged them. If I wiped my butt with toilet paper, I charged them. You know what I mean? And they never been in a relationship where they got charged like MasterCard. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, I was on like white on rice, baby. You know what I'm saying? It was not no, you know, they could manipulate me. Look at the film. Look at the credits. It says Ken Ivy, the consultant of the film. They had to put that on there because they paid me so much money. You know what I'm saying? I had to pay taxes on that. Some of it, they couldn't even, it was so many hidden charges that, you know, that they didn't even see. You know, man, I bring one of my homeboys up there, you know, and he'd be just an extra. I get him $500. I throw him $2, I kept $3. Another dude, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he'd be just sitting over there, and, you know, at the table, you know, because, you know, a lot of times they'd need people, you know what I'm saying? You know, we weren't acting, but they needed people. So they would have to pay people, you know, to be in there. But those people would be in there for free because they was dummies. You know what I'm saying? They didn't ask for no money. With me, it was like, no. I haven't read Master P or Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z never went even out. Master P never went even out when this happened. You know, I was just a business-minded dude. You know, when the dude told me this is going to be seen all over the world, and, you know, it was HBO, I mean, it didn't take a rocket science to let me know that they had millions. You know,
so tell me this, how did the first movie differ from the second one? Because for the person that...
Well, Pimps Up, Hoes Down was first.
No, but the difference is, I'm saying, like you knew a lot of people in the first one, but maybe the second one you didn't know a lot of the people. You know what I'm saying? So how? Because you know, like,
okay. Well, what happened was, it's like East Coast versus West Coast, right. But it was Midwest versus West Coast. It was the Midwest versus the West. Chicago doing this thing with the Players Ball. So they came dipped in Bishop's business. In turn, they dipped in my business. Unfortunately for them, I'm more shrewd with business. But if you look at what I gave them, and you look at the Hughes Brothers thing, you can see a contrast and difference. You see that ours was much more bigger than the Hughes Brothers. The Hughes Brothers was basically something that came out on VHS, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, it was just a little documentary that came out on tape. It wasn't on no major network like that. It showed in the film, the theaters, maybe two or three theaters that you can literally pay $300 to show in a theater. But Pimps Up Holds Down was seen by 1 billion people.
Okay.
But what people didn't know, but I know this, that the Hughes Brothers and Brent Owens was in competition with each other. So the Hughes Brothers wanted to do something bigger than what they did. So what they tried to do is they tried to say that, you know, the dudes in there in American Pimp was more authentic, you know, than the dudes that was over there in the Midwest, that they was doing it a little bit harder than us, you know, because they gave up more game in American Pimp than they did in Pimps Up Hold Down. In Pimps Up Hold Down, it was me and Bishop basically giving up all the game, and King James and white folks. You know, there you had, you know, man, you had so many brothers. You had Fillmore Slim, you know, somebody that nobody never heard of. I heard of him, but, you know, a lot of people didn't know who he was. Like, Bishop was the main dude that everybody knew because he had been on all the talk shows. Kenny Red, you know, of course, Dre. These were guys that, you know, you never really heard of them like that. You know what I mean? You know of them. The street know them, but a lot of people didn't know them, you know, in the world. So they was being introduced to the world, and they were, you know, going a little harder than, you know, they went a little harder. Pimp Snooki was in American Pimp. You know, it was a little bit more harder than HBO. But, you know what I'm saying, HBO was more, you know, niggas was more on their money. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, at that time, you know what I mean, I was successful. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I was doing well. So, you know what I mean, they got some good scenes from us. You know, the most affluent dude in American Pimp was Corey Dre, you know, and Charm. Those the main two, you know, that was really, you know, popping, you know, and they had Too Short, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it was like almost a copycat. It's hard to explain, but it seemed like they made American Pimp look more like, you know, like it was like a Western movie, like old school, whereas they made us look, you know, a little different, you know, like more, it was live, but it was like party time, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, it's a little different, you know, and with that many Players Balls in American Pimp like that, you know, it seemed like the cast was a little bit more serious, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, they was, you know, doing it a little bit different, but, you know, I mean, I was in both of them, so I can't really knock neither one of them. Right. You know, but I had the reason why I had a more leading role in Pimps That Holds Down, because they had took care of me better, and I kind of like didn't want to do American Pimp, but I told them I'd do the Players Ball, but they wanted me to have a leading role in American Pimp, you know, but I just didn't, you know, I didn't really, you know, feel that it would be fair to my contract that I had signed with HBO. Now, the Bishop, you know, he didn't really have a contract, so he was able to be in both of them like that. You know, we had a deal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't understand that. I could have been all over American Pimp. I could have been in there clowning. You know what I mean? Which I was in there. The little time I was there clowning, I even had on a different set of jewelry in there. You know, I had my KI piece on. Yeah. I never forget that. You know, on there I had my crown and my other big rings, my diamond shaped ring, my big rings. I had on two different sets of jewelry. You know what I mean? I had a different demeanor, a different character. You know, so that was the difference. But you know, I was under contract with HBO, so I couldn't really just give the Hughes Brothers that. But I called Brett Owens. I said, "Is it okay if I, you know, let them do the Players Ball?" He said, "Cool." You know, but the Hughes Brothers wanted a lot more from me than I gave them. You know, because everybody everybody was telling them that dude in Milwaukee, Pimpin' Ken, Ken Ivey, that dude really, he been around the world with it. He was cross country. All them dudes know me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they know me. You know what I'm saying? But they, we was just on different sides of, the world. We didn't bump heads,
That makes sense, because a lot of people, when they watch it, they think, oh, well, since it's, it's a documentary, but a lot of people think movie. So they're like, oh, everybody must know everybody, and they must know Dennis Hoff and who owns the Bunny Ranch and all that stuff. But it's not really like that a lot of times, because it's a documentary. They're interviewing different people and just putting it all together.
And well, we all cool. Me and Dre, we cool. Me and Slim, we cool. Me and Charm, we had a nice relationship. PHARAOHS, I didn't really know him. We went at each other on the internet, because he had disrespected Ice-T. But, the rest of them cats, man, a lot of them cats, I really didn't. I didn't know all of them, I didn't know all of them, but most of the guys in Pimps Up Hold Down, we were really cool.
Okay.
We partied together. We went to the Players Bar. I knew white folks, I knew King James, I knew Bishop, I knew Scorpio, they been to my Players Ball, that was more, that American Pimp, they just literally paid me for access to Snooki, and they paid me for my Players Ball, and we just sit down and chop a few minutes a game. But I couldn't really give it to them because, one thing, I didn't want to look like I was being redundant, because I didn't know what I'd say, because nothing was rehearsed. I didn't want to be saying the same thing in two documentaries. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was weird. It was weird, man. But, the science behind it was that the Hughes Brothers was to do my convention hall, downtown Milwaukee Players Ball,
right,
where players came from all over the world, and I'm doing a quick interview on me. But HBO, I was one of the stars along with Bishop of the movie.
Okay, so with this being said, to erase all hearsay, the best evidence is within what? The credits?
Well, listen, man. A person can say, I did this, I did that, I played this role, I played that role, I did this role, I did that role. In order to kill all that, if I told you that I was a consultant of the film, Reek,
right,
if you seen the film Ending Me, if you see I got practically more scenes than everybody, you seen that I was on top of my game, and then I tell you that wasn't just accidental, that happened for a reason, that you see all the parties that's in Pimps Up Hold Down, it's my parties. You see me giving the trophies out, and then you look at the end of the movie, and you read the credits. Out of all the people who's in there, you ain't gonna find but one dude that was in that movie with his name on them credits, and that's Ken Ivey. Case closed. You know what I'm saying? Case closed. We ain't got to say, what happened. You know what I mean? People can lie, and say they did this and they did that, and they had this role and they had that role. But when you look at it, and you look at the credits, and you know that I don't have control over that, you got it. You got what it is. It
right,
says Ken Ivey.
Right.
I can't falsify that.
Right.
I can't say, hey, I'm go into YouTube's channel. I'm gonna go into HBO system. I'm gonna itch my name on here, Ken Ivey. Man, they just got to give it up, man. Business wise, man, I'm one of the sharpest dudes that ever played the game, man. In that game, they just got to give it up, Reek. Ain't no hating, ain't no boasting or nothing.
Right.
It's the truth. 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 It's the truth.
This is my book, The Art of Human Chess. It's a bestseller, New York best time seller. This book here sold millions, sold all over the world, all throughout the prison system. This is the book, The 48 Laws of Game Pimpology. Make sure you get these books. If you don't want to buy the hardcover, if you don't want to buy the paperback, then the best thing to do is go to iTunes on your cell phone and type in my name, Pimpin' Ken, and I guarantee you the book will pop up. If that don't work, go to audiobook.com, type in my name. If that don't work, go to amazon.com, type in my name. Anywhere books is sold all over the country, you can get my books. These are my bestseller books. You hear people talk about them all the time on Instagram, on Snapchat. These are definitely some good reads. Please get my book. I guarantee you that you will never be the same. Your life will be impacted, and also your life will be enhanced just by getting these 2 books, The Art of Human Chess and The 48 Laws of Game. Just like the 48 Laws of Power, just like The Art of War.
Too cool to count. 24/7.